Hi, the new year is ending, and as is very typical of people, especially Ghanaians, we are making hard and fast rules on how to be healthy in the new year, how to go to the gym in the new year, and even how to be better children to our parents in the new year. I understand it gets hard sometimes, but as you're making all these wonderful, beautiful plans, I need you to make plans on how to start the new year financially right. And I'm going to give you 3 ways you can do that. One, if you're owing somebody, go and pay. That friend that gave you money for your December chillings, pay them and don't borrow again. Two, revisit your expenditure in the past year and think about it for a second. Did I spend my money well? Did I spend my money wisely? What did I do good? What did I do bad? What do I want to carry with me in the new year as I'm trying to start the new year financially right? List them and stick to them. And finally, master budgeting. Luckily for you, the Bethnal Finance app can help you with that. Think about how much you spend in a day and what you spend in a day, in a week, in a month, and project it for the year and make plans for that. And as you're doing all of these, remember to be money wise and stay ahead financially with the Bethnal Finance app. Thank you. Hi, the new year is ending, and as is very typical of people, especially Ghanaians, we are making hard and fast rules on how to be healthy in the new year, how to go to the gym in the new year, and even how to be better children to our parents in the new year. I understand it gets hard sometimes, but as you're making all these wonderful, beautiful plans, I need you to make plans on how to start the new year financially right. And I'm going to give you 3 ways you can do that. One, if you're owing somebody, go and pay. That friend that gave you money for your December chillings, pay them and don't borrow again. Two, revisit your expenditure in the past year and think about it for a second. Did I spend my money well? Did I spend my money wisely? What did I do good? What did I do bad? What do I want to carry with me in the new year as I'm trying to start the new year financially right? List them and stick to them. And finally, master budgeting. Luckily for you, the Bethnal Finance app can help you with that. Think about how much you spend in a day and what you spend in a day, in a week, in a month, and project it for the year and make plans for that. And as you're doing all of these, remember to be money wise and stay ahead financially with the Bethnal Finance app. Thank you. Hi, the new year is ending, and as is very typical of people, especially Ghanaians, we are making hard and fast rules on how to be healthy in the new year, how to go to the gym in the new year, and even how to be better children to our parents in the new year. I understand it gets hard sometimes, but as you're making all these wonderful, beautiful plans, I need you to make plans on how to start the new year financially right. And I'm going to give you 3 ways you can do that. One, if you're owing somebody, go and pay. That friend that gave you money for your December chillings, pay them and don't borrow again. Two, revisit your expenditure in the past year and think about it for a second. Did I spend my money well? Did I spend my money wisely? What did I do good? What did I do bad? What do I want to carry with me in the new year as I'm trying to start the new year financially right? List them and stick to them. And finally, master budgeting. Luckily for you, the Bethnal Finance app can help you with that. Think about how much you spend in a day and what you spend in a day, in a week, in a month, and project it for the year and make plans for that. And as you're doing all of these, remember to be money wise and stay ahead financially with the Bethnal Finance app. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. A very good evening to you, and welcome to the first Betnor Finance Investor Communities webinar of the year. It promises to be exciting and educative. We do appreciate you taking time off your busy schedule to join us to listen, learn, and grow financially. If you are here and you don't have the Betnor Finance app, please do work to download it because you are missing out on a lot of goodies. Kindly download our app via App Store or Play Store and then check it out. Tonight, we are excited to have a speaker who was until recently an undergraduate student but has been a strong advocate for financial literacy and investments. He is the fixed income analyst with IC Group, a leading investment banking firm in Africa. In his undergraduate years, he also served as a president or the very first president of the Bethnal Finance University of Ghana community. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have Mr. Samuel Kwame Ofori with us here tonight. Mr. Samuel Kwame Ofori, are you here with us?
Hi, Dennis, can you hear me?
Hello, Samuel. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How have you been? No.
I'm also good. I'm also good. How's corporate work treating you?
Uh, Corporate life isn't easy. I mean, there's a lot of challenges that comes with it. You are learning every time, and because you're sort of in your national service period, you have to prove yourself. So sometimes you go overboard, but it's interesting. You learn a lot. There's a lot to learn, and I have an open mind. So that's what I can say about corporate life.
Awesome, awesome. So today we are speaking about a very important topic that's investment opportunities for students. And it's a topic which is in the heart of a lot of students. A lot of people have the willingness to begin investment but don't know how to. So tonight, someone will be presenting to us the opportunities available to us as students to invest. So someone over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dennis. I'm really happy to speak about this. When I was in school, I had lots of questions about the right places to invest. And as I progressed, I found out some of the best places for me to invest, especially when I was in school. So I'm really happy to share this. Let me just share my screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen, please? Hello? Hello, Dennis, please, can you see my screen? Um, oh, okay. All right. Says you can see my screen. A second. So, yeah, so we are going to talk about the investment opportunities that are available for university students. And before I start talking, I need to say that all the opinions that I'm going to express here in this presentation, they are just my opinions. And they are not opinions of any investment related firm I have worked with or I am working with currently. So I'm going to sort of take you through the whole process of deciding to invest and then finally making the first deposit, which will bring you your first return. Before you invest, it's important that you ask yourself a few questions, and I've outlined them here. The first one is your investment goal. You need to ask yourself, what is my investment goal? Why do I want to invest? Maybe for your retirement, it may be that you want to go to school, maybe for your master's in 5 years' time. So you want to invest so that in 5 years' time, the returns can support you. It may be that you need money in December, so you want to invest in a short-term product that will bring you returns by December. So you should know the goal for your investment. You might want to put it down. Ask yourself, why do I want to invest? What am I trying to achieve? That's the first question you need to ask yourself. The second question is, what is my investment timeline? Now, you need to ask yourself if you want to invest for a short period, a medium term, or long term. So, for long term, like I said, you may be looking at retirement. So, you tell yourself that, okay, when I retire, I want to have some good money in my account so that I can have a good time. And then that means I'm looking at a long term investment. And then if you want to look at a short term investment, maybe you have some cash lying down and you're like, if I leave it here, inflation is just going to erode the value of this money. So I want to invest in something that will bring me short-term returns so that when I get my returns and I add the returns to the money, I will still be better off. So you need to ask yourself the timeline of your investment. How long do I want to invest for? Now, you need to ask yourself about your risk tolerance or your risk appetite. Are you a low risk taker, a medium risk taker, or a high risk taker? Personally, I'm a low to medium risk taker, and I understand this because of the questions and analysis that I've drawn. But if you have money that you are willing to lose, you have so much money, you are willing to lose all of them, you might probably be a high risk taker. If you have money, you are willing to lose maybe almost a half of it, you might be a medium risk taker. And you have money, you're not willing to lose so much of it, just a little bit that you're willing to lose, then you're a low risk taker. You need to understand this too. Because before you invest, there are things that you would invest into and then they have different volatilities. So you need to understand what your risk appetite is. At the end of my presentation, I'll take questions so you can put your questions down and then we'll discuss them after. This is going to be an interactive session anyway. And then the final question you need to ask yourself is that what kind of assets class or products do I want to invest in? So assets class is sort of like the denominations of investments that we have. So you could have equities, which is an asset class. You could have fixed income, which is an asset class. You could have commodities, which is an asset class, and they all come with their merits and demerits. So you need to ask yourself, what asset class do I want to invest in? And in order to come by this decision, I mean, you don't just ask yourself and get an answer there. You obviously need to do some research. You need to research on the asset class and see what they are exposed to. So let's take equities, for example, as an asset class. Equities are, um, how should I even explain this? Let me use a scenario to explain it. It's sort of an ownership of a company. So if you have equities, you have ownership of a particular company. And which company is it? For example, let's use MTN here. MTN is listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange, which means that their shares can be traded. So if you buy a share or an equity of MTN Ghana, you have a part ownership in MTN Ghana. Now, MTN Ghana is exposed to the telecommunication space. You need to ask yourself, what are the things that happen in a country that indirectly or directly affect the telecommunication space? Whatever is going to affect that telecommunication space is going to affect the MTN Ghana stock. So certain questions like this will help you understand the kind of asset class that you want to invest into. Now, let's delve right into the opportunities that you have as an investment student. And I'm speaking to the average student here. I mean, I know that some of you students, I mean, when I was a student, some of us had so much money. I'm talking about 100,000 Ghana cedis and above. But on the average, an average student will not have 100,000 Ghana cedis to spare. Will have less than that. So I'm going to talk about a few of the things you can consider if you have that spare money. The first thing is stocks or equities, what I was talking about. So I explained what a stock is, sort of an ownership of a company. And how do you get this stock? In Ghana, or I think it cuts across in other countries, before you can buy a stock of a company, the company has to be listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange. So you can see the prices of the stock move all the time. And then with these prices, you are able to determine how much you want to buy. So if you decide that you want to buy a stock of a particular company, you need to buy it through a licensed broker. There are brokers in Ghana that can help you to buy and sell stocks. You want to buy stocks, you have to buy them at the price they are trading at the moment. So I'm going to use the same example, the MTN Ghana, as an example. If you want to buy MTN Ghana stocks, you say, I am a medium to high risk taker and I want to invest in something like stocks or equities. And I went to the Ghana Stock Exchange, I looked at the companies that have been listed, then I saw MTN in there, I saw Access Bank in there, I saw Talo there, and I decide that I want to invest in MTN after making my analysis. What then do I do? You now have to go to a licensed broker. When you go to a licensed broker, you tell them that I want to buy MTN Ghana stocks. Then they take your order. And then they go and look for a seller who wants to sell. They come back with a price. So you sort of instruct them to buy at a market price, or you tell them to buy at a particular price that maybe you want to buy the stock at. When they get the price, they let you know, and then you give them the go ahead to buy. You buy the stock and you hold the stock, and that is it. It's in your investment account. Now you own the stock, and everything that happens in the industry that affects the stock will reflect on your stock. If the price of the stock goes up, it means that the value of your investment has gone up. If you bought the MTN Ghana stock at 80 pesos, and then the price of the MTN Ghana stock goes to 1 cedi 50 pesos, it means that if you had to sell the stock right now when it's at 1 cedi 50 pesos, you are going to get, I think, 70 pesos from it. And yes, you can buy one stock, but usually people don't really do that. Um, People usually buy, from 50 cedis and above. But I mean, no one really does buy one stock. But yeah, you can buy that. So that is one place that you can consider. As a university student, if you have 100 cedis, 200 cedis somewhere as some passive income or some money that you're willing to invest and you want to invest in stocks, you can't do that. And I've showed you how you can make money out of it. Bear in mind, it could go sideways too. Investment is a risk. So when you think of winning, you should think that there's a possibility that you're going to lose. So you can buy the MTN Ghana stock at 80 pesos, and the next time you go, the price of the stock could drop down to say 50 pesos. It means you've made a loss. And if you sell, you are going to make a loss. It's very important that you understand that. Now, the second one is bond and bills. In this asset class, it is less risky. The bonds here and the bills here is you basically lending an entity money, and then they promise to pay you back that money at a particular interest rate. Bonds work different from bills. Bills are investments that mature a year and below. So, for example, of bills is the Government of Ghana Treasury bills. So you have the 91-day Treasury bill, which matures in 3 years, sorry, 3 months. You have the 182-day Treasury bill, and then you have the 364-day Treasury bill. They all come with a discounted rate. Their rates are on it, and every Friday, the Bank of Ghana will hold an auction. How can you get to this auction? Basically, you can speak to most of the commercial banks or the investment banks that you want to place a bid for a treasury bill from the government of Ghana. And you tell them they take the rates that you are willing to place the bid at, or you tell them to place as a good bid for you. They will do that for you. You instruct them to do that. And then they will add your bids to several bids of Ghanaians. Then they go to the auctions on Friday to the Bank of Ghana, and then they purchase the treasury bill for you. This is how it's done. So, what is the current rate of the 91-day treasury bill? So this is where the Bitno Finance app comes in handy. I'm currently looking at the Bedno Finance app and I'm searching for the rates on some of the bills that we have. A second, please. So on the Bedno Finance app, you go to markets, you go to fixed income, you go to treasury bills, and the 91 day is being offered at 35.634. So it means that if you decide that you're going to buy a treasury bill, the 91-day treasury bill, the 35.634, it is the rate that you're going to get per annum. So it's calculated based on the 91 days. So 91 days over 364 times the rate. This is how you know the rates that you're going to get on it. So you invest that money that you have, and at the end of the 91 days, you're going to get back your money plus the interest on it. This is another way that you can make money. So you could decide to use the 91 days to buy the trade. You decide to buy the treasury bills on the 91 days, or the 182 days, or the 364 days. So that's how bills work. We have other bills like the cocoa bills. Cocoa bills are bills that are issued by Cocoa Board. They work pretty much the same. So now bonds are government of Ghana investments that mature from 2 years to 20 years. Our longest bond that we have is 20 years. And the higher your years of bond, the higher the yield you are going to get. So if you're holding a 20-year bond, you should expect higher yields than if you are holding a 3-year bond or a 5-year bond. So the bond works differently. If you want to purchase a bond from the government of Ghana, they will issue bonds. You can buy it at the primary markets directly when they issue the bonds, when the government of Ghana issue the bonds, or you can buy from the secondary market. The secondary market is a market where people already have those bonds are going to sell to you. So you will buy from them. And when you buy this bond, the government promises to pay you coupons. Coupons are interest rates that you are going to be paid. It's usually paid twice in a year. You're going to be paid twice of that interest rate every year till it matures. And when it matures, you're going to be paid your full money with the last payment of the coupon. So you could decide that, oh, okay, I want to give you 10,000 Ghana cedis, 5,000 Ghana cedis. In this case, we are students. So, 5,000 may be an outrageous number, but whatever cash that you have, when you're looking for a seller, they will tell you that I'm looking for someone who has this cash. So, when you speak to the brokers, like I said, they will help you find a seller and then you can buy. So when you buy this bond, you hold it every year. You're going to get your coupons on it, which will be the extra cash that will be coming in. And on the final year, you're going to get your money plus the last payment of the coupon. Now, I'm going to talk about the risk involved, so you don't worry about that. The third one that I'm going to encourage you as a student to look into is mutual fund, and this is really, really good. So this is how mutual funds work. It's like a basket of investments, and in that basket, there is someone who is managing the basket called a fund manager. Sometimes it's one person, sometimes it's two fund managers, sometimes it's multiple fund managers, and they decide what they are going to invest into. So they can decide that we want to invest in just fixed income products. And here it means they'll be investing in bonds, bills, things like that. So they buy the investments and then they put them in the basket. And then they allow investors to buy parts of this basket. So when you invest into a mutual fund, you are buying parts of this basket. When the returns come, they'll be shared accordingly to the right percentage. And when the losses come to, you are going to realize the same thing. Some mutual funds also invest in just equities. So it's just a basket of equities. And that one is more risky. And some also mix the equities plus the bonds. And that is how they work. So that's how mutual funds work. If you want to invest in mutual funds, it's pretty easy. Most of the investment banks here in Ghana have mutual funds. And if you want to invest in them, you just walk to them or call their customer care line. You let them know. They will take you through an onboarding process. You deposit, and then your money goes in there, and you start to see the daily value of your investments. Now, I'm sure that you've heard, all the stories that are going on in the economy, and you're asking yourself if this is a good time to invest. You should always invest. This is just a personal advice to you. You should always invest, but you should do that wisely. Always speak to a professional. Always look at the disadvantages. Always look at the risk involved. When I was starting my presentation, I said that investments are risky. You can lose your money too. So you should have that at the back of your mind that I'm willing to lose this amount when it goes. Now, anything can happen, just like we've seen governments doing a debt restructuring here. So if you expected to take your money in 2024 when you invested in, let's say, 2019, now the government is telling you that they have rolled over your investments. What are you going to do? Ideally, it comes with a risk, so you should accept it or not. So those are some of the risks that come with it. There are other mutual funds that are doing very well despite everything that's going on in the economy, and you should take advantage of it too. So there's something called fact sheets. You see the performance of the mutual fund over time or since inception, and you're able to decide whether you want to invest in the mutual fund or not. Like I said, if you don't understand the technical things on the sheet, you should speak to a professional. And most of the investment banks offer these services. You call their customer care line, they're ready to take you through some of the things you need to know before you invest. When I was talking, I mentioned brokers a lot because it is through them that we can buy and sell. But with mutual funds, you don't need a broker. You can just talk to the investment banks that have the mutual funds, and then you be able to buy into them. IC Securities here is an investment bank. They have a brokerage firm where you can buy and sell securities. If you want to buy treasury bills, you can speak to the fixed income team at IC Securities. If you want to buy a bond too, the same thing. If you want to buy equities too, there's an equities team at the global markets desk in IC Securities that can help you do so. If you want to buy mutual funds, if you want to invest into mutual funds too, IC Securities too has a mutual fund that you can look into. Now, Betno Finance is also an institution that can help you invest. When you open the Betno Finance app, you get to see at the market section, you get to see the various mutual funds available for you, the interest rates that they've been able to attain since inception, and other information about it. Same with the stocks, same with Forex, crypto, and other investment opportunities. The reason why I haven't mentioned crypto here in the Forex market is because it's not entirely regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commissions. So as a student, you might want to be extremely safe by going for something that is highly regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commissions, so that you can be sort of protected in a certain way. I think the questions will jog a lot of things for me to say. So I'm looking forward to the questions. Ask me the questions. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk. Let me see what's on your mind, and then we can take it from there. So, yes, this is a short presentation, the end of my presentation. I'm really looking forward to your questions. So please, let's get them if you have any.
All right. Thank you so much, Kwame. That was a really nice presentation. A quick reminder that if you have any questions, you can post them in the chat box and then we can ask Kwame for you. But then before that, Kwame, some answers to some specific questions I want to ask. So,
Oh,
you work with IC Group. Do you have
yeah.
tailor-made investment opportunities for students, or are you aware of any tailor-made opportunities for students in any other investment bank?
Well, so there isn't a particular investment that has been tailored or with a tag for students. No. But then all the investment opportunities, the students can invest in them. this is not an advertisement for IC, but I'm just like Dennis has asked, so I have to answer. IC has a mutual fund here. It's called the IC Liquidity Fund, and they invest in fixed income products. And as a student, you can invest into it with as little as I think 50 CDs. You'll be able to buy into that mutual fund. So if you are considering something student friendly, students like, you can look into that mutual fund.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I think we would have a couple of questions coming in, and then before that, I think you mentioned earlier about the mayhem we find ourselves in financial sector. So I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
ask. I mean, there's a lot of misinformation out there by people
Yeah.
who pose as experts in finance. I mean, random people or random pundits sit on TV and radio and then discourage the ordinary person. They make social media posts about things they know nothing about. So, as a student, how did you navigate that? And what's the advice you have for the students also listening?
So yes, Dennis, you're correct. So what people do in the investment space, or what I think people do, is to share their opinions. It happens all the time with forecasts. People will share their opinions. So what you hear is the opinions of people. You might hear from seasoned people who are in the industry. You might hear from people who just got into the industry. You hear different things from different people. And um, I mean, there's one thing that will always sound that you always hear in the different opinions that I are shared. Obviously, those are the things that are true. When you go to the Government of Ghana websites, the official websites, the things that they publish about specific investments that are affiliated to the Government of Ghana, you can read about them there. When you go to the securities and the Central Security Depositories website too, you can read official documents there that talk about investment products. So when I was a student, I would always want to go to the official source first and see what is happening. Obviously, they will not say something that will make them look bad. So I would then move to someone who is in the industry and a recognized institution, of course. So I'm talking about, just to mention a few, ICCPTs, Data Bank, Obsidian Achena, um, where is this other place too? APSA, the recognized institution like this, just to mention a few. I would speak to people who have had some experience and ask them, hey, what's your opinion on this? After going to the official site. And then I always found out that they would say something similar to whatever that was on the official site. But then they would say something that the official site didn't want to see because obviously it might, scare investors or tarnish their image in certain ways. So as a student, that's something, and that's a way that you can use to make sure that you are following the right source. And also, I used to do that with the Bedno Finance app. So Bedno Finance is, especially in the community, you are linked to certified people. They don't just bring anyone on board to speak to us, or they don't just link people to speak to us. Before they bring people to speak to us, they do a background check on the people. So we had the opportunity to DM the people on LinkedIn to ask them questions, to follow things that they asked us to follow, and we were good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So seek the right information from the right experts. And if you need any help, the Betno Finance app is also available to you. And a quick reminder, talking about the Betno Finance app, if you are just joining us, the Betno Finance app is a wholesome app that helps you stay ahead financially. You can kindly download our app via App Store or Play Store, and it will help you make better financial decisions in the long run. We have one question here. So, will the recording be made available? So, yes, we are streaming on multiple platforms. So, the recording of this webinar will be made available. And we also have a question for you, Samuel.
Yeah.
It says, please, what if the Forex and crypto is the venture you want to go into? How do you need to go about that in Ghana? That's from Ruben Quay.
Okay, Ruben. Like I said, the crypto markets, for example, isn't entirely regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commissions, but there are certain firms that can help you to invest in such areas. So I think Obsidian Achena helps you to invest in forex. There are people, professionals there who are in the forex space that will take your capital, they will tell you about the risk, and then they will help you invest into it. However, if you want to go into this space on your own, I think it's a journey that you have to start. You start studying the forex market, you start to learn about the dynamics on the forex market, follow people, the right forex guys, should I say, that can help you to better understand it. So when I was in school, I did a little bit of forex, by the way. When I was in school, I started learning about forex, and started following people on Twitter to see what they were thinking. And with forex, it's basically the buy and sell of currency. So yes, I deposited some money. Yes, I made a few trades. Yes, I made some money, but it was based off the understanding I had from my research and my study. So that's what I did. I didn't go to a firm to deposit my money there for them to trade on my behalf. I wanted to venture into the space and understand how it was going to be, and I did that. With the crypto side too, I did a little bit of crypto when I was in school. So I don't know if you guys remember, but it got to a time when, yeah, I think it was just last year, crypto was moving from the 60s area, and it was really, really shooting up, almost the 70s area. And before it dropped to, I think, about 33 $1,000. I think I've forgotten, my figures are not right. But yeah, during that time, I invested in crypto too. And there are some crypto agencies here in Ghana that can help you invest in crypto if you want to. You check on the Betno Finance app, you see the movements, all of that, and then you can use that as an idea to invest in the kind of crypto that you want to invest into. So you get on the, most of them have apps. So you get on the app or you get on their web-based platforms, and then you trade. So you buy the crypto, the coin, you have the crypto, you want to sell it, and then the next thing you look at is the market value before you can sell. So it is two ways. Either you are giving your capital to someone that is a firm, a right institution to do that on your behalf, or you want to go in personally. If you want to go in personally, I advise that you do a lot of research, a lot of learning before you go into it, because these two markets are extremely volatile and you can lose your money in seconds. If you are a forex trader and you're listening to this and you know about gold, then we both know that you can lose your money in gold in seconds. So it's something you should really be cautious about. Dennis, I hope I've answered the person's question. If I have not, they can ask follow-up questions and we can answer them. Hi, Dennis, can you hear me?
Hello, Kwame.
Yeah, please, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Did you catch my last words?
This person. Yes, Kwame, I did. I did.
Okay.
So thank you very much for the question, Ruben. So if you have any more questions for us, you can put them in the chat box and they will be addressed. So a quick reminder that Betno Finance is committed to helping you grow financially and to help you begin your investment journey. Betno Finance communities have a collective investment scheme that allows students and people to invest as little as 5 cities. You get to make deposits and top up when you choose to do so via the Better Finance app or the website. And to invest in this fund, you need to be a member of the Better Finance communities, either of our communities in UG or KNUST or the workers' communities. And also, we also have the second cohort of the Better Finance Academy Masterclass coming up. The first cohort was a huge success. All the participants benefited a lot. The second session will run from 27th February to 24th of March. And we are hoping you join us to grow, to learn, and then to grow. And to join the class, you have to register with 180 cities, but you get a 20% discount if you're a community member of any of our communities. And even better, you get a 50% discount if you're a Pineapple member of any of our communities. So those are just some goodies Better Finance has for you to help you begin your investment journey. Um, so Kwame,
Yeah,
we would like to hear about your personal investment journey. I know you talked about it, but I want to know when you started and then how far it's gone. If you would like to share.
yeah, that's fine. I think I can share. Um, when I was starting, I spoke about risk appetite. So I did a self-assessment and I realized that now, Mr. Kwame Ofori, you are a low to medium risk taker. I'm not willing to lose all my money um, for my investment, but I'm willing to lose part of it and not really a significant amount. So I'm really, really careful in the kind of things that I invest in. I tend to do serious research before I decide to invest in it. So I became an active investor, I think, in level 200, and I invested in a startup, a business. It was my business on campus, and I was making money out of it. So I got some money out of it, and I decided that I need to look into other places, the financial markets, for example. So I decided that I wanted to go into stocks. And like I said, I always want to do my research. So I actually found out there was a stock pitch competition which I could get into. Going into that stock pitch competition, my aim was see, I'm going to learn about how to evaluate stocks and how to come about the decision that this is a good stock to invest in, this is not a good stock investing. And I think that was in late 2021. Yes, late 2021, I think. I entered a stock pitch competition. I had to learn accounting. I studied economics and geography in campus, by the way. So I had to learn accounting because it was instrumental to what I was doing. And then I used that to build a model. And at that time, I built a model for MTN Ghana. And then I knew that the MTN Ghana's intrinsic value was more than what it was trading on the market. So at that time when I assessed MTN, it was around 2 cedis. That was the actual price from my model. This is just a personal model. I mean, different fund managers have different models. And at that time, MTN was 1 cedi 20 pesos on the market. Now the price has dropped. I think it's around 88 pesos or so. And I decided that um, there might be some economic factors that will bring the price down. So let me wait for the price to come down so that I will buy. And then I decided to go into mutual funds because these funds were going to be safe for me as a low to medium risk taker. And I decided to go into mutual funds that were investing in fixed income products because these products are low risk products. And then I invested in them in the mutual funds. And I was getting returns from my mutual funds. I used to withdraw some money to, sometimes you want to have a good time on campus. It gets really stressful. Then I withdraw some money from my investments accounts. Then I use that money to do my chillings, and then I just get back. So I realized some money on it. Um, and then from investing in mutual funds, I decided to take it a bit further and then finally invest in my stocks. So as I'm talking to you, I have plans of buying some stocks. Just to say, I'm not saying that. I know I keep mentioning MTN because I have done my analysis on MTN, and I don't want to speak on something I have not done my analysis on. And I'm not saying that I'm going to buy MTN Ghana stocks. Please remember, don't say that Kwame said I should go and buy MTN and now I'm in trouble. No, that's not what I'm saying. But now, from moving from investing in a small business, realizing some returns, investing in mutual funds, realizing some returns, I decided to put more money into the mutual funds, obviously, because the returns are good. And then I'm now deciding that the prices of the stock that I wanted to buy are now low at the point where I want to buy. So that is the area where I'm looking at right now to pump most of my money in there, and then within 5 to 6 years, hopefully I should see some gains. However, if my the value of my stock should go down, I'm not scared because I have done a long-term analysis on the company that I want to invest in, and I know that they have a good opportunity for long-term growth, and they're going to withstand a lot of shocks during that period. So I'm not really worried. I'm just going to let time work on my money. So that's sort of like my investment journey throughout my university days. I mean, because I was a low to medium mistake, I wasn't just going anywhere for my money to get lost. Let me just add the forex and the crypto markets that I invested in, I was also using that as an opportunity to learn. With forex investments, the easy you can lose easily, you can win easy. So the times when I got more money, I got huge money. The times when I lost money, I lost huge amounts of money. And it wasn't good for me because even though I was learning and I was trading at the same time, the amount I lost was more than the amount I gained. So I had to stop. With the crypto market, at the time where I bought, um, the price was stable and the price kept dropping from the time that I bought. And it kept dropping since. It hasn't been able to rise from where it was. So it's still in there. I'm waiting to see that the value is going to rise, then I can make some more decisions. So yes, Dennis, that has sort of been my investment journey from level 200 when I became an active investor. Hi, Dennis. Can you hear me?
Yes, Kwame, am I audible?
Yes, you are. You are now.
Okay. Thank you so much. So you might have heard Kwame mention analysis and stocks, and you might have been lost. I mean, that's why we are organizing the masterclass for you. So if you wish to be an expert like Kwame and analyze stocks and bonds and then make your own investment decisions, you can join our masterclass for 180 cedis. And even better, you can just join our community and enjoy a 20% discount and even a 50% discount if you become a Pineapple Patch member. Kwame, we have another question for you, and
Yeah.
it says, suppose I want to go into Forex and crypto by myself, apart from the Betno Finance app, what other apps or websites would be help in Ghana? I don't know whether you got it.
Yes, I did. I got it. So with the crypto, there's this app. I have it on top of my head. What's it? It's called. Wait, am I doing advertisements for these apps? Hmm. Let me think about that. Well, if you want to invest in crypto, an app that you can look at is the Yellow Card app. They help Ghanaians to invest in cryptocurrency and the different kinds of crypto that you want to look into. If you want to do forex too, I know that you can use the MetaTrader, um, and you can use XNES. XNES really helps Ghanaians because you can deposit your money directly from your mobile money account into your dollar account if you decide to trade in dollars, or you can deposit your money from your mobile money account into your CDs account if you decide to trade in CDs. They allow that flexibility, and it's really good for Ghanaians. So you can do that with XNet, which is linked to your MetaTrader. That is if you are looking to go into this on your own. Same with crypto too. You can look at Yellow Card app. It helps. Yellow Card, yeah, it does help. And Dennis, I hope I've answered the person's question.
Yes, I think it's fine. Um, you've explained everything clearly. Another question, Kwame.
Yeah.
Kwame, please, what would you say was the average amount you invested during your school days?
Collectively or at a specific point, or in a specific investment. Can you be specific?
So the person mentioned average. So I think maybe you can give us something of the average of it.
Hmm. Average. So okay, let me break it down this way. When, like I said, I became an active investor in level 200, and that time the hazard that was coming from my daddy wasn't so heavy like that. So I was investing 500 to 1,000 Ghana cedis in a year, on average in a year. 500 to 1,000 Ghana cedis. That was how much. And every time, I mean, the following year I topped it up. Every time I topped it up. Currently, obviously, I invest more than that in my account. I don't want to tell the whole world the amount of money I have in my accounts. But yeah, basically on an average, when I started being an active investor, it was 500 to 1,000 Ghana cedis, and that was in a year. It wasn't a month or 2 months. And the next year it increased, and then the next year it increased. So 2020, when was I in? Yeah, till now, yes. I'm really tempted to mention the amount, but I can't. You should understand. This is a public space, and it's not the best to mention the amount. But yes, on an average, when I was in school, I was investing 500 to 1,000 Ghana cedis in a year.
Awesome, awesome. I think you would love this particular question. So
Sure.
it says, please, with this government haircut issues and debt exchange programs, what will be the consequences and what investment would you recommend for any ordinary student?
So this government debt restriction is a serious one. It's a delicate one. It's hit so many people in the foot. Hmm. And as a student, I would advise. This is a personal advice. I beg you. I would advise that you don't go anywhere near government investment products for now until you understand how it works. So with a debt restructuring program, what you've done is that the bonds that you have um, maturing from 2023 onwards, they decided to exchange those bonds for new bonds. I think if they're going to separate this into 12 new bonds, and they're going to spread it from now till I think the 20-year papers. And doing that might not necessarily be good for you as a student, because unless like I said in the beginning, you ask yourself, what timeline am I looking at to invest in? And if you are looking at 5 years, 10 years, I mean, why not? You can decide to buy the bond, and then in 10 years time you probably hope that you're going to get your money on it. But then if you don't want to even get close to the whole issue around the debt extraction, you can consider mutual funds that are not entirely exposed to fixed income products. What do I mean by this? So there are some mutual funds that hold fixed income products like government bills. But what they do is that they do something called repos. A repo is called a repurchase agreement. And you buy, they buy the treasury bill, at a particular price on a particular day, and then they sell it back to the counterparty or the person that they are dealing with at another day at a particular price. So they are going to make money off the spreads of the different prices. And that money is going to come into your accounts and is going to obviously add on to whatever returns that you are going to get. So I will advise that you invest in mutual funds that are not exposed to the government of Ghana securities, or that are not entirely exposed, in this case, doing things like repos. So this is what I would advise you to do. Because when you do this, you are not exposing yourself to the whole debt restructuring, but you are exposing yourself to other areas as well. So the IC liquidity fund at IC Securities is one of them. I'm sure you heard something about the market value of investment and the book value of investment. So, in some investment banks will value their will have the value of the investments based on the book. So it's calculated in the book to see the value. The value of the investments of the book is different from what is on the market, because the value on the market moves every day. However, with something like the IC liquidity fund, um, the value is already marked to market. So whatever value you see on it is the value on the market. Whatever returns is the value of the market. Again, all the opinions here I'm sharing, they are my opinions. They are not opinions of who, whatever organization I used to work with or I'm currently working with. No, they are my opinions, and yeah, please take it as such. So
Awesome.
sorry, let me add this.
All
If you
right.
want, yeah, if you want to then look into this kind of mutual funds that I'm talking about, then you can walk into the investment firms that we have into Ghana and ask them about it. So you work and tell them that, okay, so you have mutual funds. Can you please tell me what the mutual funds invest in? Are they going to be affected by the whole debt restructuring program? If they say yes, you say, okay, I don't want something that's going to be affected by that. Is there any other mutual fund that is not really or entirely going to be exposed to that? Can you tell me more about that? It starts from there. Ask them questions. Don't be shy. It's your money. So ask them the questions before you leave it there. Okay. All right, Dennis.
Thank you so much, Kwame. So ask questions before investing. So I think we have no more questions coming in. Then I would like to repeat that if you are here and you don't have the Betno Fund app, please download the app via App Store or Play Store and then gain access to a lot of financial knowledge which will help you make better financial decisions. And also, we have the second cohort of the Betno Finance Academy Masterclass coming up. It begins on the 27th of February and ends on the 24th of March. Registration is currently open, and we hope that you join us and learn and grow. To join the class, you would have to pay a sum of 80 cedis, but you get a 20% discount if you are a community member of any of our communities, and a 50% discount if you are a Pineapple Patch member. And also, to help you begin your investment journey, Betno Finance has a collective investment scheme that allows students to invest as little as 5 cedis. You get to make that deposit and top up whenever you choose to do so via the Betno Finance app and the Betno Finance website. And to invest in this fund, it is critical that you be a member of the Betno Finance communities. So Samuel, wrapping up, do you have any last words for our prospective investors in the audience?
Yeah, sure. So over my years of deciding to invest, I mean, I haven't, it was just level 200. I just left school last year. Um, One thing that I always say to myself is that I need to fully understand what is going on. Don't go into something that you don't understand, and don't be moved by the pressure that comes with, oh, invest, invest, invest. I mean, we could say that all those who invested now are facing certain issues that they wouldn't have faced if they didn't invest. But I mean, that's not the right thing to say anyway. But my point is that do your research, ask questions all the time. Know that there's money to be made for you, and accept it if you're a low risk taker. If you cannot take a high risk based on whatever income is coming in, that's fine. With time, your income will increase, and then you can take more risk. If you're a medium risk taker, that's fine. Don't be worried. Just ask the necessary questions, do your research before you decide to invest in something else. Other than that, your Asa will just keep vanishing. Yeah, those are my last words. And stick to Bedno Finance. It was crucial to my investment journey. Almost every day, I'm looking at this app and seeing the rate movements, seeing if there's a new article to read, something about this researching program, anything to keep me ahead of the market. So yeah.
It's been a pleasure having you, Kwame. Thank you so much for the nuggets of wisdom you've shared with us. We'll make sure to remember them and then start our investment journeys if we haven't. A quick reminder that you can find the links to all um, our call to actions in the chat box. So you can find the link to our app in the chat box. You also find our links to our social media platforms in the chat box, and also our community investing who to contact. There's the contact in the chat box. So please visit the chat box if you haven't, and then follow the links there to choose your desired action. So thank you so much for making time to join us this evening. We know you have busy schedules, but we thank you so much for making the time to join us for this conversation. And we'll come your way some other time with another interesting topic. So make sure to follow our social media handles and then be updated. Personally, I read a book recently that's The Richest Man in Babylon, and I noted something from it which I know a lot of people will be inspired from. It says that wealth, like a tree, grows from a tiny seed. The sooner you plant, the sooner it grows, and the more faithfully you nourish and water it with consistent savings, the more wealth you may have. So, starting today, starting tomorrow, let's all endeavor to start our investment journeys. No amount is too small, and in the long run, we would have a sizable amount. Thank you so much, and good evening.
Hi, the new year is ending, and as is very typical of people, especially Ghanaians, we are making hard and fast rules on how to be healthy in the new year, how to go to the gym in the new year, and even how to be better children to our parents in the new year. I understand it gets hard sometimes, but as you're making all these wonderful, beautiful plans, I need you to make plans on how to start the new year financially right. And I'm going to give you 3 ways you can do that. One, if you're owing somebody, go and pay. That friend that gave you money for your December chillings, pay them and don't borrow again. Two, revisit your expenditure in the past year and think about it for a second. Did I spend my money well? Did I spend my money wisely? What did I do good? What did I do bad? What do I want to carry with me in the new year as I'm trying to start the new year financially right? List them and stick to them. And finally, master budgeting. Luckily for you, the Bethnal Finance app can help you with that. Think about how much you spend in a day and what you spend in a day, in a week, in a month, and project it for the year and make plans for that. And as you're doing all of these, remember to be money wise and stay ahead financially with the Bethnal Finance app. Thank you.